Welcome to PCI, Periscope Circle of Influence. We scope every Tuesday, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. GMT. My name is Lola, and I am a confidence and entrepreneur coach. I help women boost their confidence, and I help entrepreneurs turn their ideas into money-making products. Yes, so I'm super excited, guys, today. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm really excited today. And today we're going to be talking about what to do if your spouse does not support your business. So what do you do if your spouse does not support your business? So, I mean, you love your spouse, you absolutely love your spouse, but they don't support your business. What do you do? So this I find very interesting because I think a lot of women go through this issue a lot of times where we have a dream, we have a passion, but we have spouses and family members that don't necessarily understand that dream and that passion that we have, right? Or they feel like, oh, why do you have to make it like a business? Why can't you just do it on the side and things like that? You know, people won't always, one thing I always say is people won't always understand your vision, right? People won't always understand your passion, but does that mean that you should give up on it? Absolutely not. Should you try to find a way to carry them along? I believe you should. So, you know how they say like a job is a 9-to-5 thing, but a business is a when you wake up to when you go to sleep thing. That's a real thing. And I think that's also one of the reasons why it's difficult for spouses to understand, because they see you wake up working on this thing, they see you going to bed working on this thing, and they're like, how could you put so much dedication into this, but you know, they're not really seeing a return. And sometimes, especially if you have a spouse that isn't really into business, they may not understand that. It takes some time, it takes some effort, it takes a lot of commitment to be able to get some results from this thing that we call a business, right? And entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Understand that. So, you know, your spouse may be a career person, so they may not understand, you know, the idea of entrepreneurship because it's just not for them, right? Yes, Planet, for sure. Thanks for coming in. So lately I found that you know, and I scoped about this a little while back as well, and I was saying that, you know what, at the end of the day, the best that you can do is explain to them what you're doing, explain to them why this is a thing for you, explain to them why you're passionate about this, explain to them why it's important to you. But at the end of the day, I think sometimes it takes a while for them to come around, and you have to be okay with that. Keep working at it. One thing I do say, especially when I speak to women, is one of the reasons why spouses don't support your business is because they don't see the return on investment, or they feel like you wake up, you go to sleep, you're doing this thing, and some women end up neglecting their responsibilities in the house, right? Because they're so consumed with the business, right? And the spouse is kind of like, okay, what's going on here, you know, because they're not used to it. And you need to give them time to get used to it as well, right? Because it's something totally new to them. So, but one thing for sure is that when you're focusing on your business and you're committed to your business, they will come around because they'll realize that you're not going to quit. You're going to keep going at it. One thing that I remember my husband said to me one time, he was like, well, is this going to be like a long-term thing, or is this going to be, because remember, I told you guys, I've done a lot of things over the past years, right? I've had a lot of side hustles. So he's like, well, is this just like a one-time thing, or is this like a forever thing, right? And I remember saying to him, listen, this is like a real thing. This is like a business. It's not like every other thing I've done. It's not a side gig. Like, this is something that is happening. And once I was able to tell him that and explain to him that I was serious about this, and, you know, this was my passion and my commitment, you know, he was like, okay, you know, if this is it, then, you know, whatever, I'll support you. And I think also with time, seeing that I was committed to it and I enjoyed what I was doing, it was very easy for him to come around. Obviously, for some people, it may take a little while longer to come around. But, you know, just know that it does happen, and they'll eventually come around. And like, I think it was Deborah that made a comment earlier, talk to them. You know, it's a conversation that you need to have. It's like when you get a new job, you have that conversation with your spouse. When you start a new business, you should be having that conversation as well. Or even before starting, you should have a conversation. Hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing this, and I just want to let you know. It's like, when you're job hunting, your spouse knows about it. When they offer you a job or you're going for an interview, they know about it. So naturally, when you're thinking about going into business, or when you start a business, you should be having those conversations with them, so you're not just popping it at them and expecting them to go with the flow, right? Every step along the way, carry them along. That's the most the most reasonable advice that I could give to you guys about that. If you carry them along, they will come around and they will support you in those ventures. So another note that I made here as well is that, and this is in terms of women, being a woman, this is how I can relate to the topic. I realized that with men, sometimes it really takes seeing to believe, right? And not just even in you having a business, but in a lot of things that we say as women that we want to do or whatever. I found that when they see something happening, that's when they believe that it's happening. So even though you've had that conversation and you said, hey, this is what I want to do, this is the business I want to start, I've done my research, blah, 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 and the whole works. Sometimes it really takes them seeing you actually start the business, seeing you actually committed to the business, seeing you work in your business day in, day out, for them to actually get on board with it and actually support you. So one example is like, and it's so funny because my husband really supports my business now. And it's interesting because, like I said, I've had a lot of things going on, but I didn't consider them a business, so he didn't consider them a business. And that's another thing too. If you don't consider what you're doing to be a serious thing, they're not going to see it as something serious, because all the other times I only saw it as a side thing. 2 more minutes. Thank you, Bukola. I only saw it as a side thing. I never really saw it as this is my business. But, now that I'm coaching and, creating products, and I wrote a book and things like that, I see this as my business. My husband also sees it as a business because I see it as a business. So sometimes they feed off of your perception. If you don't believe in what you're doing, they're not going to believe in it as well. And remember that these are people who know you more than anyone else. They know you inside out because they go to sleep with you, they wake up with you, they see you, they eat with you, they hang out with you. So they know when you don't believe in something. So if you want them to believe in it and you want them to support you, you have to believe in it yourself. You have to show them that you believe in it. You have to show them that you're committed, and you have to show them that you're serious about it. Now, there will be those odd times where you've said everything, you've done everything, you've shown everything, and they just don't support you. What do you do, right? It's a tough spot to be in. I'm really grateful that I haven't been in that spot, and I really pray that I never, get to that spot, because, my husband has my book. He owns a copy of my book, which he could have gotten for free, but he invested in it and he bought the book, right? Because he wanted me to know that he supported me. He's reading the book. That book literally goes everywhere with him. It's in his car. I was asking him the other day, I'm like, oh, where's your book? Do you want me to sign it for you, and stuff like that. He's like, oh yeah, I have it in the car with me and I've been reading it and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, okay, And the reason why he was able to do that is because he saw how much I believed in it, and he was able to support me based on that. If you don't have a supportive spouse, hang in there, keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing, be consistent, and they will come around. It's just like family members, right? They will come around. So don't be discouraged. I guess that's my final word for you guys today. Don't be discouraged. Keep pushing. Yes, Deborah, please go set up. I'm done. Keep pushing, keep working at it, and they will come around. And listen, at the end of the day, when they see that you're good at what you're doing, they'll have no choice but to respect you. Even if they don't necessarily show you the support, they will respect what you're doing as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. They'll also know that, you're not just saying that you're a business owner, but they'll know that you're actually doing stuff. You're not just sitting on your butt all day talking about being an entrepreneur, but they'll see, listen, by the things you put out, the products that you have, the programs that you have, the services that you offer, they'll see that you're actually doing stuff, and that will encourage them to come around as well. Another thing also is when you talk to them about your business, they'll let them know how they can be involved, because sometimes they want to support, but they don't know how they can support you, how they can be involved. It's okay for you to tell them how they can support you. Hey, honey, buy my book. Hey, honey, I came up with this program. Can you review it for me? Before I printed my book, I sent it to my husband to proofread. He felt like he was a part of it. And now that the book is out, he supports it because he feels like he was a part of it. So carry them along with it, not just telling them, but let them know how they can be of help. Let them know how they can support you. If they feel like they're a part of this, then they'll support you in it. That's another thing that I want to leave you guys with today. So thank you so much for joining us. We're the Periscope Circle of Influence. We scope every Tuesday, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. GMT. Congratulations to our nominees for today. Even the fact that we have nominated you today means that we see a lot of good things that you're doing in this community. Shadi Wayadu, congratulations. Healing Words, congratulations. And Justin Fit Brown, congratulations. So thank you guys so much for joining us once again, and we super appreciate you. Thank you. We super appreciate you once again for spending the time with us. And okay, she's not up yet. Great. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. You can send us emails at contact@periscopecircleofinfluence.com. You can check out our Facebook group, bit.ly/Periscope Circle of Influence. You can also check our website. That's www.periscopecircleofinfluence.com. And we are on YouTube. So if you miss any of our scopes and you want to see what each of us ladies have said, so myself, Lola's Tips, Bukola Oriola, and Deborah at Sawyerrs House, you can find us on our YouTube channel. It's Periscope Circle, and you can watch all our videos on each topic every week that we put out there. Okay, so just waiting for Deborah to set up to come live, and I can do a quick recap again for those of you who came in late. One thing that I said is, because the business is not just a 9 to 5, but it's pretty much all around, you want to make sure that you're making commitments to your business. You're also making sure that you follow up with your other obligations at home, with your kids, with your spouse, and things like that, because you don't want them to feel neglected, because then that causes resentment and it's hard for them to support you. Another thing that I mentioned is that when they see that you're really committed to your business and it's just not something you picked up, then they'll come around eventually, even if they don't come around at first. And something else that I shared with you guys that I found really helpful and helped me in my process was, when I wrote my book, before I published my book, I had sent the draft to my husband to proofread and give me his feedback on it, and that made him feel like he was a part of the process, and that made it easy for him to support me with the book and with my programs. I remember even sending him with the Confidence Booster program that I have going on, I sent him some content in regards to that, just to give me his feedback, and he feels like he's a part of it, and it's easier for him to support me that way. Also, when they see you working at your business and they see that you believe in your business, then it makes it easier for them to support you, because they see that you believe in it. People don't believe in people don't believe in something that they don't see that you believe in yourself, right? So make sure that you always believe in whatever it is that you're doing, so other people can believe in you as well. So thank you guys again for joining us, and have a lovely day. Bye.